HR, if you are planning to implement something for the people who you are serving, I think it would make sense if you ask them, hey lovelies, do you want it? Do you need it? Do you like it? What do you think of it? Do you value it? Shall we do it? It's that simple. And today we are going to talk about the Great Badges of Nothing, which is the Great Place to Work Awards and the Investors in People Awards. I call them the Great Badges of Nothing because they really don't provide anything. I am Sylvia, an organizational psychologist, and I have written hundreds of articles last year for LinkedIn and for other social media platforms, and they were received very well by the global community, from C-suite level executive all the way to line employees. And my friends and colleagues said, why don't you bring these articles to YouTube, because not everybody likes to read. So here I am with these 20 minutes-ish videos, hoping to change your way of thinking about corporate practices, because that's my only aim with these articles. Get you to think differently. I will never claim that I'm right. There is no such a thing. I have been trained to scrutinize everything, and I have also been trained to refrain from saying that this is the way of doing, because we don't know what is the right way of doing until we do things and they work. Everything is a lottery, especially in organizations. So what I would like you guys to do is to get you to think differently, and really let's just put your comments there below, debate. How do you see it? Maybe you see it completely differently, and that's okay. This is what this is how we grow, this is how we learn, this is how we progress. Now let's go back to the Great Place to Work Award and Investors in People, and I have millions of problems with that, and I'm going to give you two major problems. Okay, let's keep it simple because the list is so long, but let's say three problems. Okay, my first problem is this, that HR professionals, and where this idea came from, sorry, let me tell you. So yesterday I was talking to a HR person, and that HR person, oh, I need this award because I cannot recruit, I cannot attract good talent. So I'm like, Sylvia, just don't say anything. Just don't say anything. So I just started having conversation. I'm like, look, if you can't attract talent because the company is a shit show, I put it nicely. The company is a shit show. The environment is really toxic, or it's just not functioning. The leadership is poor, whatever your problem is. By putting this badge on the door, it might bring people in, but they come, they open the door, they look around, and they say, thank you very much. That's been a pleasure to be here for 5 minutes. I think I'm out. So the solution to your recruitment problem, the solution to your retention, and all the other engagement problems is not the badge. And I tell you something, you focusing on the badge, getting the badge, which is badly done, and I will talk about it, instead of hoping that this will attract talent, instead of focusing on your employees' experiences by fixing the organization inside so that they can become your advocates for the company, I think that makes more sense. Because focusing on the badge, it doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, this is my first problem. Now, the second problem is that HR professionals don't ask their employees what they want, what they need. They don't do their research, okay? Because this person is asked, she popped this question, what do you guys think about this, on a regional WhatsApp group for HR. And everybody, oh yeah, it's the best thing to happen to human beings since sliced bread. No, lovely. If this is your answer, then you have not done your research. And the first point of reference should be from your employees. So here I brought you a few comments from the online community. And it's very easy to find instead of asking another biased HR. And why is HR biased by these awards? Because it's self-auditing too. Okay? So here is some of the comments the employees are saying. So HR, this is what you should be paying attention to, not what other 200 HR professionals saying on the WhatsApp group. Some of the shittiest companies I have worked for have this award. I also worked for one. It wasn't shitty, but the HR director didn't know what the award was for. It's just the box ticking to get the certificate for the reception wall. That confirms what the HR person is saying. Yesterday said to me. I worked for a small company that the assessor said was world class in some areas. It was shit and I left. Put the badge outside, invite people in, they look around, they leave. So the badge doesn't work. They might bring people in, but that's it. They look around and they leave. The civil service made a great thing about investors in people when I worked there. The only thing is they didn't invest in people, that is. So employees don't have a fantastic experience with it. If you talk to HR professionals who know their job, they don't have a good experience with it. That my third problem with this, or let's say, third, fourth, I lost count. Sorry, I had a horrible, long day, sorry. Now, the next problem with this, if you are, and this is my personal problem, okay? If you are in a senior HR role and you need one of these awards and the organization to come in and tell you that these are the things you should be having, I have a problem with you being in that job. I have a problem with you being in that job because you should know that. You should know you don't need investors in people and the great place to work people to come in and tell you this is what you need to have for your employees. Because as my boss said once when I asked for help, and he said that I was a director at that time, if I need to hire someone to train you how to do your job, I'm going to fire you and I hire that person. And I completely agree with this statement. At that time, it was slap in the face, but you know what? I actually agree with that. So, in the same things apply. If you are a senior HR person and you need these guys to come and tell you what you need to do, you need to question your capability, your competence, and if you worth that position and the salary that you are getting, because you probably not. Now, how much of that you can implement, it's another conversation, because we have limitations in organizations, and I know a lot of HR professionals, they know what they need to do or what they're supposed to do, but the company, the organization don't let them. So that's a different conversation, but they are not going to invite investors in people in to tell them what to do. Now, my fourth problem, and this is my biggest problem, okay? There is a lot of problem with these badges, okay? The audit process. First of all, they come in, these people, with their established framework that absolutely disregards the employees who are working in this place, okay? And because these audit checklists, these questions, these criteria, they were set up 2 decades ago, okay? And I think the workplace has changed. And they don't look at they don't collect data. Hey, what do you guys want? No, they bring a list of things that you guys want. Excuse me, don't tell my workforce what they need. I am the HR director in here, and I will ask them what they need, and I will make sure I do whatever I can to provide that. I don't need anybody to come out from outside. And I give you a perfect example, and maybe you will understand how these frameworks don't work with the new generation. So these investors in people work for, the best place to work and all that, great place to work, they were set up by boomers, okay? So the criteria is really matching what they needed at the time, boomers and Gen X, me, okay? But today's generation is not what they need. But we haven't changed the criteria. And here is the perfect example that you can understand. So I am from the hospitality industry, and I have been fighting against the stupid LQA audit in the past 10 years, probably. I hate it. And 3 years ago, 4 years ago, they confirmed that I'm right, and they are just stupid idiots. I swear to God, I don't call people that very easily, but they are. So imagine that they come, and the same applies to the LQA audit. They've been set up 5 decades ago, those questions. So they were designed for the traveler's needs 5 decades ago. I think things have changed. Travelers' needs have changed, but they have not updated the criteria. They just slightly adjusted it, okay? So the stupid hundreds of points that you need to comply with is the same as 5 decades ago. However, today's generation don't need what people needed 5 decades ago. Now, what happened in my hotel, and this is where I proved them wrong. So they came, they audited. We failed the audit. However, we didn't. And I rejected the whole thing. Of course, we failed by the LQA standards. But my hotel's guest satisfaction survey, including employee engagement survey at the time, was the highest within the company. So they rather chose to ignore the hundreds of, if not thousands of guest feedback online who were telling that, hey, we are happy, we love the service, we love the hotel, we love the people. And they also chose to ignore our employees' engagement or happiness or whatever. I don't like these words, you know that, but let's call it this way. And they said, this doesn't matter. You failed the LQA audit, and that's it. So these awards, these badges, they do exactly the same. They don't care how your guests, your employees feel. They care about compliance. And this is my greatest problem with that. I hate it with passion. And the next problem is that they just don't do anything for their employees, and employers are using it wrongly. Now, if you are, as a HR professional, wanting to get these awards, so you solve your problems, I hate to break it to you, that's not going to work. If you are aiming to have these badges because you don't know how to do your job, that badge is not for that, okay? If you aim to have these badges because you want to improve the reputation of your company, well, it's not going to work if you don't put the work in it. You need to fix the organization inside. And I know your argument would be, yeah, but they are coming to tell me what to fix. Well, we're going back to your ability to be in that role, right? But also, just FYI, these audits are so corrupt that as long as you pay them, they give you the certificate. They give you the badge, okay? They give you the badge, they do everything because they are money-making machines, okay? So we know that the sample sizes in companies, they select the sample. Okay, these are the golden children of the company. Come here and say everything that so we can get the certificate, okay? We know that, they identify areas. Oh yeah, you fix that for the next time, etc. But they don't really look. And even if they fix that, once again, they are auditing the process. Do you have employee engagement survey in place? Absolutely. But they are not asking the employees. They ask a small group of employees or a sample group, a pre-selected sample group. So that's a highly corrupt process that we have. So companies need to learn to look at employees' needs and feed their practices around those needs, right? They need to look at the workplace holistically from the employee experience point of view, and design the solutions based on the needs of the current and the future generation. Because the audit checklist is literally you trying to dress me in my grandmother's clothes. That's how it feels. She wore it in the 50s, okay? Today is 2024. I don't want to go out in that dress because, first of all, I will look really weird, okay? And people will think that, what is the matter with her? And I will I will feel out of place, really. And this is what we are trying to do. And with these badges, really, is literally the king doesn't have the clothes on, or what was the fairy tale or whatever the story, when the king walks around with no clothes on and only one person is shouting. This is what is happening. Your employees, and you know what? I really loved Gen Z, because these are the Gen Z's and millennials comments from YouTube them online, and I will give you a really good one. We finish it up with that. I'm really happy for them because they see through this bullshit. They said, what badge? We don't care about your badge. So companies, HR, I made a video about you wasting millions of dollars in the past few decades, and now you are still wasting money with these badges. When your employees say, what badges? We don't care about these badges. We know that these companies, there's no difference between that company or that company. The badge doesn't matter. So these guys, they already see through that bullshit, this charade, because this is what it's a facade. You put the badge out, you walk in the door, and then the first thing you come across is a discriminatory practice by HR, or by the leader, or by the manager, or whatever that is. So don't do and bank all your money on that badge to solve all your problems, because your problems will not be solved. And I actually wrote about that in my book, The Corporate Kindergarten, as well, about the ridiculous HR practices that are aimed to engage people, to attract people, but they don't work because we are not kindergarten children, okay? We see through these things. We've been there, we are experienced, and Gen Z is very outspoken, and they will expose you. They will expose you. And you know what? You can put the badge on the door. You can put it in your article, in your advertisement, job advertisement. All we have to do is go online and Google how it's like working for this company, and everything comes up. It's so easy today. So don't waste your money, especially if you're not willing to put the work behind it. All you want is the badge. Fix the company, and then the badge will come with, if it's due. But I wouldn't focus on the badge. Now, here is the feedback that I would like to close this video with, because it's a very valuable feedback. The previous one were like very upset people. It's a shit place to work, badge kind of. But this is actually a really valuable. Now, listen to this. I work for a company that is Investors in People Gold, and actually got nominated for an award with them. I can safely say it is the biggest load of shit I have ever encountered. All the accreditations in our industry are tick box exercises, but none more so than the Investors in People. My workplace is riddled with incompetence, nepotism, partial management, bullying, double standards, etc. The whole thing is a joke, and I constantly wonder how they have stumbled to get this far. The first time we went for the Investors in People, the directors went around and threatened everyone to say nice things about them or face being fired. That sort of thing happens pretty regularly, so no big deal. We do what we got to do. The company get the award. So that's also, there's a problem with the company, right? So it's not necessarily the award, but I have heard about these practices that, you are told this is what you need to say. It's corrupt. Trust me, it's corrupt. Now, the next time around, everyone was, and listen to this, next time around, everyone was still here from the previous time, made a conscious decision to be completely honest about how the company is run. Your employees will fight back, thinking we are onto a winner, or the management thinking that they are onto the winning. The company put us, who had been interviewed previously, up for interviews, and we all did as we said. Absolutely tore into them and their ineptitude. It got to the final interview of the day, which is with the investors in people and the managing director. They got the feedback. Managing director said, if you don't give us gold again, we won't pay you, and you have wasted 2 days. Anyway, they ended up getting it and got the nomination for the award. So it's bullying, it's threat, like, do I as an employee, what is my experience with this award? When I need to be forced to say something, and if I don't say it, then the managing director, the owner, the leader of the company threatens the auditor. If you don't, we don't pay. And as I said, these guys are all about making money. So they're going to take the money. They don't care about your experiences. It's your HR and your leadership team and your management team who should care about your employee or your experiences. Not these guys. They're just making money. I don't even blame them, right? So if you want your employees' experiences that speak for themselves, you need to build it. You need to build it because they will have greater weight on social media, in the ears of the public, than any badge, because we know how these badges work. And unfortunately, they don't have good reputation. And it's not that they didn't build it. I mean, they due for a massive overhaul in whatever they audit and do, but also because people find a way of corrupting the system, human beings. So you as a person, you as a leader, you as a HR, you as a manager, you need to make sure that your employees have good experiences, and not to wait for anybody, and not to be endorsed by, who the hell are these people that you are waiting for the endorsement? I was talking to my friend the other day, and I really need to cut this video, that I stopped HR when I was looking after my people, when I was a director. I stopped HR. I did not allow HR to come in and mess about with my employees. They are my people. I'm responsible for whether they are crying or they are laughing and dying from happiness. I am responsible for them. So I don't want any HR person to come and fix my employees, okay? You managers, you leaders, it's your responsibility. Your employees' experience are your responsibility and happiness. It's not HR. HR is there to help you, okay? But it's not, one person cannot do. You are responsible. And if you had the same level of responsibility as I had for my people, you would say, HR, you're not coming near my people because they are mine. They are my responsibility. Once my HR director wanted me to give disciplinary for 2 of my stupid employees, because they behave stupidly. And I said, I will discipline them, not with disciplinary action. This was the first time, and you don't even know who these 2 people are, so you're not going to come here and tell me how to discipline my people. They will get the punishment, and if they do it again, then I come to you for formal disciplinary. Until then, you don't touch my people. And that's how you build your employees' experiences. Now, great badge of absolutely nothing. It's way too long, this video now. So think about it before you enter this charade, because people see through it and we don't really care. Bye. Spend the money better.